We'll do another wee chat tonight. We'll talk about shopping centres, right? Tonight. Uh, who remembers the Pollock Centre? You know where Silverburn is now? Barhead Road. That had a clock in it, like the Wellgate Centre. And where the Silverburn Centre is now, obviously, there's another clock in there, which is also like the Wellgate Centre clock, designed by the same architect, right? But there's also another one in Clydebank Shopping Centre, which was opened in 1978, where the Singer factory was on Kilberry Road. Across from Kilberry Road, on the other side of Kilberry Road, was the Singer factory, right? But I'm getting off topic. Basically, the clocks, right, were all similar, right? Um, the original Pollock Centre was built of kind of dark brown bricks with steps going down and little walkways. Remember them for the ramps and that? And inside there you had a main mall that went round and then out again. Remember that? With the big Tesco at the bottom. But as you walked in from the Barhead roadside, the clock was up. But sadly it was, yeah, it was. Yeah, when they knocked the centre down, the clock was dumped in the skip. So again, thankfully they've replaced it though with an identical clock designed by some young lassie in Glasgow. You'd have to look it up, but she was the one that created the new vision of the new clock, and it hangs up in the Silverburn Centre, which is brilliant, you know, because it's a nice tribute to the original Pollock Centre clock, you know. So anyway, yeah, that's the thing about the Wellgate clock, though. It's historical, you know. And to think that it's just sitting there now, no chiming, no doing anything, you know, it's just sad, you know, that the building's, it's just a sign of the times, isn't it? You know. As I say, at least there's video on YouTube and it was working. I don't know what the future is of the Wellgate Centre. I don't know. Um, as far as the library goes and things like that, it's a great library, you know. And it's got a lot of kind of possibility of use, you know. There's a lot of empty space in that building that could be used. But that's what people want to use it into. I mean, Dundee nowadays is mostly the Overgate Centre, isn't it? That's the main thriving hub of Dundee, you know. And that's where you kind of, well, it's not, I wouldn't say, it's just different. It's more thriving than the Wellgate. Whereas back in the late 70s through the 80s, it was the Wellgate that survived, you know. But again, then we're getting back into the original Wellgate again, which is, anyway, I was going to talk about just certain shopping centres in Glasgow that we don't seem to see anymore. Like the Circuit Hill Centre, that's another one. That's a Primark store now. But if you go in and go up the ramps, right, a Primark on Circuit Hill Street, look up to the ceiling. I like I was saying, if you go into the old Circuit Hill Centre, you see waffle up in the ceiling, black waffle. And that's where the old original ceiling used to be, the Circuit Hill Centre. I went to. That used to have a clock hanging in the centre. You'd never know though, because when you get to Primark now, that's where that was. You know, that was a big high ceiling up, I remember. And the Argos was upstairs and all that. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in there. That was opened in 74. But I've actually did a video of that anyway, Sauchiehall Centre Car Park with the waffle, you know. But the centre is 51 years old now. But it's still there. And then you've got the Savoy Centre, which is another. That's kind of. Well, I've closed one about the floors off in the Savoy Centre now. Or they had closed it off. But again, that was another building that was interesting. See if you take back the white panels inside the actual in shops, you would find the original 70s. Yeah, that Brian Miller, sculpture guy. You know, he did a lot of the Cumbernauld stuff, and the Savoy Centre as well had that. You know, but it was covered over. Why? You know, when it opened in it was construction was between 71 and 79. And through the 80s, it was always kind of kept original. As you walked in, it had all that weird 70s and 70s, 70s-ness about it. I'm sorry to get that word right. Late 70s, you know, disco feel with the. But again, it's all been. It's probably still there. You just have to take the white panels away, and you could see it. But like Cumbernauld, you know, it's just. The original ceilings are still in the building, you know, you've just got to find them, like the walls in the Savoy Centre. But anyway, just a quick blur on the night, really. Nothing exciting. Anyway, I'll talk to you later on. Thanks. See you later. Bye.